Hey guys, and welcome back to the YouTube video. So, I hadn't uploaded for a week, and I'm sorry for that because my exams are going on. So, I was very busy, so that's why. So, today I'm going to be making a neural network in Python from scratch. It will be a text classification neural network. Now, the thing is, I have made many image classification neural networks already on this channel, and I've made only a single text classification neural network, and even that was like it would generate stuff. And I know that a lot of people want to deal with a CSV file when dealing with text classification. So that's why today I will be creating a neural network in Python from scratch that will classify between the players in the FIFA football game. So I think most of you would be knowing what FIFA is. It's that football tournament, and I figured out that I would do such a fun project because you guys will like it. So this is just a very simple neural network. It's nothing very complex. The code required for this is like it is not very short, but you will be able to build any other neural network by taking knowledge from this video. So let's just get started. So over here I've just made the standard imports. So since we are working with the CSV file, so comma separated value, we need to import pandas instead of the image data generator and all of that. Then we use matplotlib, numpy and datetime. So then I simply loaded in the data set. So it is very simple to do. All you do is just about dataset, a variable name is equals to pd. So if you have imported pandas as pd, only then you can refer it in that way. Dot read csv. Now if we are working with a json file, we will type out read json, but since I am working with a csv file, I will type out read underscore csv. So then you will just have to specify the path to the directory. Now in this case, this is my path. Then I have specified the index column of the CSV file that we have loaded in, and also I've passed it. Now what is the index column? The index column is basically the column that we want to see, like as the first column or the 0th column. So in this case I have selected my index column as the name column. You can choose anything like the photo, the nationality, the flag, overall, anything. Overall, in the neural network we are going to be classifying the overall of the player because it is a combination of all of the other skills. So then what we have done is just gather some information on the dataset, that is it like the way the true or false values are laid out, and then we have just basically grabbed some information on the dataset. So we need to know if any of the values that we want to do some processing with is a string, or is it an integer or a floating point. So in this case you can see that the id, age and all of that is a integer, but the nationality, the flag and the overall is actually it's an integer, but like you can see the flag is an object. So in case if you will be predicting something like this, you will actually have to do an extra step where you will actually convert this to a string value, an object or an integer or a floating point, because otherwise you will have to do a ton of other processing to get this thing done. Next, I've just plotted the potential of the players because I thought it played a very massive role in dealing with the overall of the player. So that's why you can plot anything that you want unless and until it is an int or a float. You cannot, like, if you can also plot the objects, but you will not get a good result. So that is just something I wanted to tell. You can also plot it, pie it, but I have histogrammed it. Then we just have basically blurred out the first 7 lines because those are going to be one of the lines we are going to be dealing with a lot of the predictions with. And you can see it turns into nan. So that is very easy. We can easily achieve it with this line of code. Then what I have done is I have grabbed what I actually want to predict in the training set. So in this case, the overall, you can predict anything like the ID. Actually, that will not be a good thing. The potential, the value, or the composure. I basically don't know half of the things, so I went with the overall. Then we have just done some feature scaling with the sklearn library. The model is built with TensorFlow, but the feature scaling and some of the data processing is done with sklearn. The reason why I did not use TensorFlow for the feature scaling or like tokenization or anything like that is because TensorFlow makes it kind of difficult to do all of that, like data processing. It is very good for model building, but not very good for data processing. Like if you know it, then it is very effective, but if you are not like very familiar with very advanced Python syntax, then it's very difficult. So we just use the sklearn.pre-processing, the min-max scaler. It is like the part of sklearn. So we have just done the feature scaling. Then we have just basically created the training data set, and this will be the total number of kind of like the cells that has been occupied. And then we have finally made the model. So that was a RNN, so or a recurrent neural network. I had gone over how an RNN actually worked in my last, like my video on my neural network learns to compose songs video. Uh, so go check that video out if you actually want to look how an RNN works. I'm sorry, like the LSTM layer in the RNN. So I've also added some dropouts just to avoid the overfitting that will be caused to the model, because sometimes the LSTM layers really can overfit the model, and that's something that you do not want. Then I basically compiled the model with an optimizer of Adam. Adam is a very popular and a good optimizer even for text classification as well as image classification, and a loss of a mean squared error. As you can see, with a mean squared error, the loss that is caused will actually be down. Now, this model was actually created a good amount of time ago, and I was not very good at model building with text classification. So that's why you can see the loss is not very good, but it is still if you use some other loss function, it will be like higher than this. So that's why this loss functions works pretty well for me. Then I've just plot the accuracy of the model over time. Now you might be like, how did I do that? So what we do is we basically put all of the fit parameters of our model into history, and then we can basically plot all of the things that we want about the model using matplotlib. So I made two functions, plot graphs and plot histograms, which will calculate the loss of the model over time with a plot like the lines of the plot will be red colored, and they will be having the dots at the highest and the lowest points, and they will be joined by the lines, and with the title of loss of the model over time, x label of loss, and y label will be loss. And the same thing with the histogram. Instead of plot, I've just done hist. So you can see we get some like the losses. So you can see how the losses are going over the epochs, and over here also you can see the epochs are shown in this way. Now I have just basically loaded in the test set. Everything is the same unless I'm like only the variable name has changed to dataset test instead of dataset train, because you cannot train the computer on the data that are already seen, because it will just get everything correct. Then we have just done some ilog, so get the values of the overall, and we have then just printed out the head of the data set. So the head of the data set basically means the first 5 cells of the data set, and we have gotten like the test set, the thing that we want to predict in the test sets or the overall. Now, the data set that I was using for all of this was from from Kaggle, and it did not have like a test set. It just had a training set. So what I did was I just copied like some cells from the training set and copy and pasted them. Now if the data is like jumbled, then the computer can still get it incorrectly. Then we have just concatenated the overalls of both the data sets and gotten a total. And then we have just taken the inputs and the values from them and reshaped them. And to get the predictions, we have just put all of this in a for loop, appended it to the X test, and called the regressor.predict function on the testing data. And predicted overall is we have just done some basic data processing and printed it out. So you can see it's like a 47% that it will be what do you say, it will have like kind of like this kind of a potential, like this is kind of the potentials out of 100 of the people, of the players. So it's like, let me see, I'm sorry, the overall. So you can see it is not very accurate enough. Now this graph is just a basic graph to show like how it is predicting over the stuff. So this was the complete neural network. It was a very simple like topic. You can obviously do this with much more complex topics like predicting stocks and many more. A fun project that I think you should try out of text classification is a project wherein you will classify the images, the stats of the Pokemons, and tell whether the Pokemon is legendary or not legendary. So that's a fun project that I think you can do. It is like not very complicated. I have personally did that project, and I will also leave the job of finding the data set to you. Like everything will be done by you, so you can call it your own project. So that's it for today, guys. I know I hadn't posted for a week, and I usually like post once in 3-4 days. The reason was I just told you in the start of the video. But like I think I'll be back to my normal routine in a few days. If you want to see some more text classification tutorials, you can comment down below. If you want to see some audio classification tutorials, I haven't yet studied audio classification, but if I actually learn it, like I don't know if I'm actually going to be learning audio classification, but if I do, I will surely make a video on that. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another YouTube video.